All good in the hood?
All good in the hood. Except for the camera's crooked.
Oh,
See that?
I do. You ready?
I can't do that. Oh, I'm so tight I can't. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. Oh man, okay. All right, well, we are back.
Hello, everybody.
You guys are back.
Welcome
Everybody's
back.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You guys missed a lot. So let's talk about the lots. We're both really tired. All right, so we get to do an update on the weekend and then today and then our going forward. So the weekend was quite eventful, actually. We had a
Getting right up in here.
couple nights of freezing.
Yes, it was cold.
Really cold, and it got, I think the coldest
Below
it got.
freezing, I guess.
Oh yeah. The coldest they got, I think, was like 15. But that didn't fare well, even though, so what we do to prep for the freezing nights is, you guys know that the RV is fed by the hose for water, and we have to disconnect that hose and drain it. Well, we did that as normal. I woke up the next morning, and hooked the hose back up, and things were flowing just fine. And all of a sudden, I hear this sound,
crash, boom, bang, psh,
of water that shouldn't be running in an area of the RV. And that is where the water line enters.
kind of like the little pump house almost.
Yeah. And so I took off the face of the cover that covers that thing, and sure enough, the water pump filter strainer had burst and cracked because it froze and expanded, and when it thawed out, water started spewing everywhere. So that was on Saturday, right?
Yeah, that was
Saturday. Yeah, so I took the thing apart and sent Katie on her way to the closest RV store, and
I got a new part.
she got 2 new parts. Double. A new part, but got her twice, so we have a spare.
Just in case.
Just in case, yeah. Thankfully, it was a really easy, just screw it on, put the new thing on, and it was fixed. It didn't require a lot of replumbing of lines. No lines broke, but
yeah,
that's how it started. That's how the weekend started. And we were planning to do...
sorry. I have hair on my foot, and it's really driving me crazy.
You have hair on
my slipper.
And you're trying to get it off. And, yeah.
And then I'm driving him crazy because, shaking the camera, making noise.
Well, and I'm watching your feet trying to get it off. So anyway, yeah. Focus. So we were going to work on the house, but that didn't end up happening until later in the day, but that's fine. We did that.
We still got done what we had set out to do.
We did, just a little bit later in the day. And I didn't get irritated at all.
No.
Not at all.
No,
it was a very good day.
He was calm.
Calm the entire day.
He was like, I wish we would have had it on film. He was so calm.
Yeah, I really was.
Zen. Buddha Nate. Back to Buddha Nate.
I'm getting a Buddha. Yeah. So, but we has successfully got the first row of tongue and groove board up on the ceiling.
We did.
Finished that off. It's nice and straight. It looks really good. Except
we had to restain 2 boards because of the tape.
Yes. Yeah. Man, I made a big mistake. Big mistake. In order to find the waviness of the wall and match that up to the board, I put tape at the edge of the board, and I marked with a pencil line on the board following the wall. And for the first 2 boards, the end cap boards, I immediately, after I cut the wave out, I immediately removed the tape. Well, for the middle 2 boards, the long boards, I cut them, and then it was dark, and I was like, oh, I'll just resume tomorrow, Saturday. And so when we were putting those boards up, we test fitted them, they fit fine. And okay, so then we started peeling the tape off,
And along came the stain, and
Yes.
some of the wood grain.
Yes.
It stayed with the tape and not on the board.
Yes. So there was a big, long, straight line.
Straight line, real
right
straight.
at the edge of very mismatched color.
this much.
Yeah. So we tried to just add a little bit of stain. That worked with one of the boards, but it didn't work with the other board. It was still a very straight line.
Yeah,
You
the
could
other
just
board,
tell.
it was a lot more obvious that it was a straight line.
So I ended up sanding that board down quite a bit, and then we re-stained it. But that board is very much different from the rest of the boards.
It's very dark now.
Very dark. Yeah, very contrasty.
So we kind of wish we would have just stuck with the straight line.
Yep.
Because it would have only been a discoloration of about like this versus the entire
Yeah.
11 inches now being completely different.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We'll just live with it.
Yes. We'll totally get over it.
We'll just live with it. Yeah. Yeah.
Not us. We don't overreact to things not matching or lining up.
I don't.
No, not at all. Zen. Zen.
Yeah. So we then continued on. Was that all we did on Saturday?
Saturday, yeah. We finished. We got that. Because you were being so zen after we got that first row up.
Yes, I was.
You
yes.
were like so zen that we decided that we shouldn't even attempt the second row.
That's correct. Yes, it was definitely a sign of do not continue working.
So we stopped.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
For the safety of our marriage. No, I'm kidding.
You're taking it a little far, honey. I hope.
No, I was joking because couples, who remodel together, you know what they say with that.
Yes.
So yeah, we looked at each other and was like, okay, we're done.
Yep.
And
We're done.
I went on my merry way doing evening chores, and you did some inside stuff.
So I was continuing a little bit of work on that. You guys know that I put the insulation up in the ceiling, and I got R30 throughout all of it, R45 among most of it, but there are pockets to where I still need to put the additional R15
tuck it in.
to tuck it in. And so doing that, we put the board up, and then I tuck it in. And so I was doing the tucking the stuff in, and then I called it quits and came inside, and I think I was editing a video.
Yeah, then you edited a video.
Yeah, which actually that one aired today,
Yes.
Monday at 4 o'clock. If you guys haven't seen it.
You can see how frustrated he was. Before.
Oh, before. That was the before one.
That was before what we just
That
talked
was
through.
the one that I thought I could do it all myself. Failure. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But then Sunday, we continued our quest of trying to get the ceiling done, but in a different approach.
Different part of the
portion
ceiling.
of it.
Yeah.
I've talked about how the beam needs to be wrapped with something, and I can't finish the ceiling up to the beam until the first portion of the beam is wrapped. And so we wanted to do barnwood wrapping.
Use something from the homestead.
Yes.
Basically, we wanted to repurpose wood, preferably barnwood from the 1922 barn was our preference because it's already falling down, and why not?
And it's 100-year-old wood, kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of cool to bring that history since we took a lot of the charm and history out of the house. We wanted to try to add something back in, where we can, little pockets of things. And that's going to be a theme throughout the house as we're putting it back together. Want to try to reincorporate some things that we found around the homestead. And so we were on a mission to go and collect and see if we could scavenge enough usable boards. This is the key word, usable.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of rot and there's a lot of boards that you pick them up and they just either crumble or they're just not.
Yeah, they're just not good boards.
There's not good boards.
Yeah, not good boards.
Not something we can put up inside the house. So that's what we did Sunday. So we made a little project of it.
We found quite a bit. We couldn't salvage anything off the 1922 house.
Barn.
Barn, thank you. Because the stuff that has already fallen to the ground, it was so rotted that it was not worth the effort to go about doing that.
We would have had just little tiny pieces that we could have salvaged from it. And
yeah, it wouldn't have. And then
it's a little too patchwork.
The stuff that would be good to use is on the back of the barn, which is still standing, but we're a little nervous about going there and removing those boards as the whole structure is starting to fall. It's just too dangerous. Too risky. So we ended up going to the different barns and looking around in the piles of wood, and we found quite a bit of boards that were really good, salvageable. And I think we have enough to where we have enough to cover the whole thing. And so originally we thought we were going to take all the nails out, all the metal off of it, whatever, and then plane the boards and then stain the boards. That rhymes.
Plane it and stain it.
Plane and stain. But we may not do that.
Yeah,
we're going to clean the boards.
Yeah, to make sure there's no bugs in it and to make sure, it's just clean, and it's been, outside for a long time. And so just want to make sure it's clean and healthy to put into the house. And then we might just keep the super rustic look with all the nails, all the imperfections. That's kind of, I like all the holes and the knots and all of that stuff anyway. I've always loved that character of wood. So since it's not structural, it doesn't have to, it can have cracks in it, it can have imperfections. It's just a faceplate over it. So we thought maybe we would just leave the nails in and just clean it, not stain it, leave it patinaed, original, grayish, brownish boards, and call it good.
Yep.
So and then we'll see if we do that or not. We'll have to see what it looks like.
The cleaning will be both washing it off, get all of the dirt and stuff off, but then we also, per recommendation from Jim, Two Turtles Homestead, we found a product that we can spray on the board, and it soaks into the board, and it kills any bugs and larvae and whatever that may be in the board or on the surface of it, and then prevent further infestation or whatever boring insects from going into it and surviving. So it'll we won't wake up one day and have piles of wood directly below the beam from all the things eating at it and then dropping the piles. Yeah, so
it works for termites and any type of boring insect.
It's basically is it borax?
Boric acid.
Boric acid. Yeah. So very productive weekend. Weekend.
Yes.
Weekend.
Yep. Did all of that, and then.
What else did we do? We put up trail cameras.
Yeah, I put up 2 trail cameras yesterday over by the pond area, the hoop coops over by the pond, and then. So we've been having a lot of activity over there, both birds and I think raccoons.
Probably.
And then the neighbors' dogs we can hear. We think they're coming over, but we don't think they're coming all the way up to the coops. We think they're stopping at the electric fence line, that perimeter that we made. So just want to see what's coming up and around the chickens again, and just make sure there's nothing, getting into the coops or getting into the areas. But yeah, outside of that, I think all the animals have been good. All the babies are still good. Thankfully, no more broody hens.
Is that your knock on wood?
That was my knock on wood. Yeah, I think everyone's doing pretty good.
Yeah, so that leads us to today.
Today? What happened today, Nate?
We're not done yet. There's today.
But wait, there's more.
But today is good stuff. So.
So is yes.
Oh no, yeah. There's just Jim came over today. Came over at 10, left about 30 minutes ago. It's about 5 o'clock now.
These aren't the helping hands he was seeking.
They were available. Plus, you wouldn't. Okay, anyway.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was just helping.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just holding.
Yeah.
These helping hands came with knowledge.
Yeah. So Jim came to help put up the boards. We didn't quite finish the first half of the ceiling. we stopped because we were both getting pretty tired, but we made really good progress. It's looking really good. Very, very, very good. Katie and I did a very good job on that first row, making it nice and straight, which makes all the other rows much, much easier.
Much easier.
Yeah. But Jim came with some tips, which was great. So he brought some felt paper, and he cut strips of felt paper. So anywhere there was a join between two boards, on a stud, we would put the felt paper on the stud, and then when that join moves a little bit because of expansion and contraction with different weather, when it expands enough to where you can see between them, if you can, you just see black. You won't even notice. And then anytime we had to cut the end of the board for the right size, that left a exposed, non-stained surface. Well, if when the boards move a little bit up and down from each other, which they will, then if it's not stained, then you see a white mark. So instead of staining it, we just took a felt tip marker and colored it black.
Basically a Sharpie.
A Sharpie, yeah. So that way it looks like a shadow. It doesn't really look like a white, unstained piece of board. And then he also brought his chisel, so that way when we needed to take a board and push it into place, we would put the chisel up onto the stud, hammer it in place, and then use it as a leverage, and then we'd tack it in. So tons of great tips for that, and of course having the helping hands and the knowledge and being able to operate the saws and do all those things help with the dispersing of the pattern of the joints, and so there's not a distinct pattern. Yeah, it's going well. So he's coming back tomorrow. We'll finish the first half, no problem, and then we'll start on the second half, and then see how far we get. He'll probably come back a third day, and we'll get it all done up into the last row we won't put in up by the beam until you and I are ready with cleaning the boards and doing all those things. And then he'll come back and help put those boards up. And yeah, so it's coming along.
Nice.
It's coming along quite nicely.
Yeah, we'll have to see what needs to be done for the cleaning of the boards, because I might be able to do that while you guys are working on the ceiling. I can hose them down, no problem, and then they can dry, because the weather's supposed to actually be kind of decent for this week. It's supposed to be in the 50s almost all week, 40s and 50s, so it shouldn't be too bad to where I can hose it off, let it dry, and then do the cleaning, and then we'll have to put it in the house so it can fully dry and get to temperature, kind of like what we did the other boards.
Right.
And then we can figure out
Yep.
the Mod Podge patchwork quilting of our beam.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting part of it, is how to line them all up, because not all of them are the same depth,
Height, thickness, they're all different.
Length, like it'll be
Yeah, it's not lumber that has, it's not the exact
uniform.
dimension. Yeah, it's all over the place. Which is kind of cool too, and I think it'll be okay if there's those little pieces that are off and stuff. Like if you ever look at a wall that's barnwood wall, you see a lot of that depth and dimension, which I think will just add to the character. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think it'll look nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just excited to see the final color after it's been cleaned and dried, to see, okay, are we good with this, or is this like way too off from the stain that we picked? And because we don't want it to look like, oh, you use this wood for this project, this wood for this project, and this for the flooring, and it's all, which is true, but you don't want it to look like that.
Well, we may have to stain it then. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it looks.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll see how it looks.
I think it'll look cool, but we'll see.
Yeah. Man, from looking up and holding that up and pushing pressure on and hammering and all, man, I am just like, my neck, my shoulders, it is tight.
Yep.
Tight. I'm going to use some of that body butter, that pain relieving body butter. That'll help.
That will help.
That'll help a lot. And then stretching. Lots of stretching.
Yep. That typically does the trick.
Yeah. So, well, what else, love?
I think that was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it.
That kind of went over everything, so yeah. So more work tomorrow, and then more updates.
As usual.
Hopefully, like I said, it's supposed to be a nice weekend. If we catch anything fun on the trail cam in a couple days, we'll share that. But I just put it up last night, so I'll probably keep it up at least for 2 more days, just to see if we see anything. And then whenever we get another chance, we'll process some more chickens. But yeah, it doesn't bother you as much when they're not down here running around.
It doesn't bother me, but we still need to do it to,
Yeah.
But,
So,
yeah.
cool.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Take care. Kinsley's passed out. She's like, oh, I gotta relax. Daddy's in here now.
I want to pass out. Oh.